Oh, it looks like we are ready to go. So, good evening everyone and welcome to our Sunday night Spiritual Moments readings. I am Francois T. It is wonderful to have you all here. If you are in the room, say hi and I will definitely give you a shout out. I do apologize about the earlier time. If you are watching this back, I started at an earlier time because we've got quite a few readings to get through already this evening. If you would also like to request a reading, feel free to leave it in the chat box if you are here live. Now, if for whatever reason you can't make it to the reading next week, you've got a couple of options. First is to join the Facebook group and leave a request there, or you can leave a request down in the comments section once this video is uploaded. So multiple different ways to request readings if you would like, but we do have quite a few that we are doing this evening. So once again, if you are in the room, say hi. I'll definitely give you a shout out. I'll have a quick look and see who's in the room, and then we'll get stuck into tonight's readings. Okay, so it looks like we have Alofa in the room. Hi Alofa, thank you so much for being here. It looks like we've got a couple of other people that are in the room as well. I hope you can see me clearly. I can see myself clearly through the camera, but I don't know if you guys can see me clearly on YouTube, so I do apologize about that. If you can't see me, if you're having trouble, certainly let me know, and hopefully we can find a way to fix that before we go any further. But as long as you guys can hear me and hear what I'm saying, that is the main thing, I suppose. Okay, I mean, it looks like you can probably see me, at least you can make me out. Anyway, Ellen is in the room. Hi Ellen, thank you very much for joining me and for being here with us this evening. As I say, we've got quite a few readings to get through this evening. So without any further ado, let's get right into them, and then I'll come back in the room and yeah, if you leave any comments or whatever, I'll read them out in between readings. So let's get onto it, shall we? Now, I will be doing my readings from tonight and from now on in order of when the requests are received. So if you, for example, made a request today, then your reading might be a little later on in the chat this evening. And if you made a request a couple of days ago, then it'll be earlier on in the chat this evening. So just so we know how things are going here. So let's get into the first one, shall we? Now, first reading tonight comes from, I hope I'm saying this correct, Manon or Manon. Manon is 7th of the 6th, is a Gemini, and is asking for a general reading. So thank you very much, Manon, and forgive me if I'm saying your name incorrectly there. So, Gemini, everyone, is an air symbol. So I've got my bracelet once again, so you know I use my objects to charge everything for the readings. Okay, Manon, let's see what's coming through for you this evening, shall we? Okay, Manon, the first thing that I'm receiving is a very bright white light. Now, this means quite a few different things, but at the end of the day, it all comes back to being a good thing. It's symbolizing who you are as a person. So it's symbolizing purity, goodness, love, light, all those really good and decent qualities. So that's what I'm seeing in you. That's the first thing I'm picking up. I'm also seeing someone that's here with us at the moment. Now, this person very familiar. It is a male. I'm just going to commune with him for a moment. Okay, thank you very much for being here. Is there any messages you would like to pass on? Okay, so I was trying to get to commune with this guy, and then this lady, elderly lady, long grey hair, so she has passed on, I can confirm that, came forth and sort of interrupted our conversation and was basically, saying there's an emergency, that she needs to come through first before anything else happens. She's telling me that you're coming to a crossroads in your life at the moment and you're struggling with where to go with this at the moment. Okay, so yeah, so you're coming to a crossroads. Whether you've come to it now or you're about to come to it, I'm certainly seeing a crossroads. And the advice that this old lady, or this elder, as I call them, this elder is giving me, is that you need to trust in your own instincts. Apparently, you're getting a lot of advice coming to you from different people who are trying to tell you what to do, and some of them are coming very close to swaying you to their way of thinking. You need to block all of that out. You need to focus on yourself, and instinctively, I'm being told that instinctively you actually know the answer. But if you take the advice of those that are trying to help you, and there are quite a few people that are trying to tell you what to do, then you might be lured into doing the wrong thing. So you need to take some time just to be by yourself, be at one with yourself, and make that decision for yourself. I think that's going to be the best move that you can make, and that's certainly what is coming through for me. This energy, this from that's come from the elder, certainly was very urgent. This needed to come out to you very quickly, so I'm letting you know that. I'm just going to go back to the mail and see if he has anything that he would like to add while we're here. Okay, so this person is telling me that you two were close, but he has passed on. He's referencing a school. Now, I don't know if this means that you went to school together or if you talked about school. Maybe he was a teacher, maybe he was a student. It's hard to say, but he's definitely referencing a school here tonight. He's also saying that he doesn't have much that he wants to say to you, just that he is very proud of you, and he's enjoying watching you live your life. As we know, when people pass on, they can still see what is happening with us, and that's why he's come through, just to say that it was an honour to come through and to be here to speak to you tonight, and let you know that he's very, very proud of you. Um, so yeah, I hope that you can connect to that. I'm not really getting a lot from this person though, so maybe he was quite reserved in his life. But he just wanted me to acknowledge that he is very proud of you and that he wanted to be here. And it's very interesting. I can feel the loyalty, but I can also see it. The elder woman has now left now that her message has been passed on, and generally that's what happens. Once a message is passed on, the person will go away. This person, though they're not saying much, they're still hanging around. So just very happy to be here for this experience and to pass on those words to you. So I hope that that helps. Okay, so he is telling me a little bit more now. He's referring back to what the elder was saying, and he wanted me to acknowledge that she is absolutely right. You have to trust in yourself. your own instincts are what is going to guide you. Don't let anyone else pressure you into doing anything or try and change your mind or sway you on anything, because that will end up leading you to make the wrong decision. So you need to make this decision yourself. And that's coming through now very strongly, not just from the elder, but as I said, from this man as well. He's definitely saying you've got to make this decision on your own. I don't know what it is that, whether you're at this crossroads at the moment or if it's coming up for you, but certainly it is a decision that you have to make for yourself. Aside from that, as I said, seeing the light, a lot of light, very bright white room, and so that, as I say, it means purity, it means innocence, all these good attributes that are coming through for you. So you're obviously you're a very good person, very well natured. So it was an absolute privilege and an honor to do this for you. I'm not getting any other messages at this point in time, but if you would like to request another reading for next time, I'll be more than happy to do another one for you there. But I hope that this one certainly helps you, and that the advice also helps as well, whether you're at that crossroads now or whether you're about to approach it. But thank you very much for that, Manon, and I certainly hope I'm saying your name correctly. But thank you very much for that request, and I'm so glad that I could give it to you. Alright guys, let's cross over to the room and see what is going on over there. Oh, we've got a few people that are coming into the room, which is lovely. So Lofa's saying hi, Ellen's saying hi. Ellen's saying, for some reason I can't chat on my iPad. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Ellen. I don't know why that is the case, although you're not the first person to tell me that. I had someone last time who wanted to come on and be a part of the chat, and then going through their iPad, they were saying they were getting an error. So I don't know what is happening there. But certainly if anyone knows or can give a bit of advice on how to fix that, that'd be most appreciated. But Ellen, you're definitely not alone there. Jody's here as well, and Jody's requesting a reading. Jody, I'll add you to the list and see if I can get to you. The readings are piling up this evening. If I don't get to you this week, then you will be pushed to the top of the list for next week, but I will certainly do my best. I'm just going to write this down. Just give me one moment. I do remember you from last week, Jodie, and doing the reading I did for you then, but definitely happy to give you another one if we have time. And Sarah's in the room. Hi, Sarah. Thank you for being here. She says, hi, everyone. This chat is loading, but not the video, so I'll have to watch this back later. Just dropping in to say hey, though. Hi, thank you so much for being here. I'm so sorry it wasn't working for you either. I don't know what's going on here, guys. Alofa says, hi, Sarah. There's a hi, Alofa. Not sure if he's read for me yet or just others. No, Sarah, I have not read for you yet. So you can let her know that. Lady Jazz says, hey guys, can't watch everything because I'm going to work, but listening as I walk there. No problems at all, Lady Jazz. Big shout out to you as well. Yep, okay, so Ellen has let Sarah know that she hasn't had the reading yet, and the video is working for Sarah. Wonderful, Sarah. Great to have you here. And Alofa says, remember to take a vanilla Coke break if you need it. Thank you very much, Alofa. I certainly will if I do need it. All right. Okay. Now, let's continue on, because as I say, we've got quite a few readings to get through this evening. So let's move right on to the next one. Let's come through to the next person. The next person we're going to be reading for tonight is Victoria, 22nd of the 10th. She's a Libra, and Libra is an air sign. Another air sign, there we go. The air signs are coming through tonight. She's asking for a past life reading. Ooh, very interesting. So we had a past life reading last week, and it seems like that resonated with a lot of people. It was the first time here at Comment Below and let me know that I've done a past life reading, and there have been a few requests for those tonight. It's been quite popular, so I'm very, very happy to do past life readings. Okay, Victoria, let's get into this reading for you tonight. Let's see what comes through for your past life. Okay, that was really interesting, Victoria. I saw a few things while I was looking into your past life there. Some of them were a little sad, but others were quite enlightening. So the first thing that I'm seeing is that you are alone. You're not surrounded by a lot of people. So it was a little sad for you at first. But if you recall back to last week when I did a past life reading, that person was also alone. Um, so I'm getting confirmation that in your past life you were alone, you weren't surrounded by a lot of people, but you were quite content to do so. Um, I was very vividly seeing like where you were living as well. You were living in this house that was all alone in the middle of like a green pasture. Um, it was certainly reminiscent of homes that you might think of in older times. And but on the outside, you sort of think, okay, a meager home perhaps, but on the inside, it was certainly filled with a lot of little what I refer to as treasures. The first thing that I noticed was a cauldron bubbling away in a fireplace, and I was very intrigued by that. So I wandered towards that and was having a look around, and I discovered quite a few things to do with. Magic and stuff like that. So I was seeing a cauldron, I saw a pentagram, I saw a lot of incense going on, and I even got a visual of you in your past life, and it was really, really interesting. You were very wise. This was at a later stage of your life because looked, um, certainly looked like an elder, but very, very wise. Um, I'm very in tune with things. I almost feel like if I just sit with this, that I could be having a conversation with your past self for the rest of the night. Very, very open. Despite the fact that you preferred to be alone, you were obviously dabbling in something to do with magic. Um, I found that very, very interesting. But still, the fact that you were alone, so you were dabbling into the magic for yourself, so it's a solitary practitioner, and quite happy and quite content with your life. I don't know if that's different now. Maybe you're surrounded by a lot of people now. But certainly, if that is the case now, it's not. Certainly, it wasn't the case back then. I'm gonna just keep having a bit of a look and see what else I can find. Okay, so I've gotten a little bit more information out of this, and so first thing that I'm seeing the first thing I discovered, I should say, is why it is that you are alone. It's not something that you chose; it's just what ended up happening to you. Unfortunately, you've had some terrible things happen in this past life, and I'm going to explain some of them to you, just so you understand how it is that you came to be living alone. You did have a husband, and with your husband, you also had a son. Your son went off and fought in the war, and unfortunately, he did not make it. So that's why he's not with you anymore. He fought very strongly in the war. I asked a bit about the war, and through asking about this, what I've discovered is that you were actually living in Germany. So you weren't in America. I believe you live in America at the moment, but you weren't in America. You were in Germany. And so yeah, your son went to fight in the war, but he did not. Unfortunately, he did not survive. Your husband is currently fighting in the war. At least currently, at that moment, is fighting in the war. But you don't expect him to be home anytime soon. I also asked why it is that you're dabbling in magic, and I got this sense like magic is the wrong word. Because this person was very quick saying magic. What are you talking about? This is not magic. This is power. And so the reason you're dabbling in, well, not dabbling, but the reason that you're getting involved in all this stuff is because you find it very powerful, and it makes you very powerful, makes you feel very secure. So I found that very, very interesting. I don't know if you do any sort of practicing or any workings to do with magic at all in your current life, but certainly was very relevant and prevalent in your past life, for sure. Yeah, but very interesting, and you did seem content. You were obviously sad that your son had passed away and that your husband wasn't there, but you seemed to be content to be alone. Despite the fact that this is not what you chose, that it was thrust upon you, you do seem content to be alone. Um, and yeah, I'm finding that very, very interesting. So now it's interesting because when I did the reading last week for a past life, what came through to me was a younger version for that person of their past life. For you, I was getting an older version, so I wasn't seeing what was happening throughout the course of your past life. I was just seeing what was happening in that exact moment. But I did find that rather interesting. I hope that that helps. But yeah, certainly magic was a big part of your life, and it was during the war, during the war in Germany. So there we go. I hope that helps. All right, let's head on over to the room and see if anything else is going on over there. And Alofa keeps reminding me to take a vanilla Coke break when I need it, so I'm going to do that now. Thank you very much, Alofa. We've got a few people in the room this evening, so if you are about, certainly feel free to say hi, and I will definitely give you a shout out. We've got quite a few more readings to come this evening. So stick around for them, and I'll get through as many as I absolutely can. Doesn't look like we're getting many more comments at this point in time, which is totally fine. Feel free to leave comments throughout the chat if you would like. You certainly don't need to do that. So just a moment. Oh, and we've got another comment that has popped up since I came back. And this is from Deborah. She says, "Hi guys, I'm with my friend who just got out of labour, so I'm a bit busy, but will come back. I've got a very important question to ask. I've sent someone a very important and comforting message that can send the her message hasn't finished, so I'll come back to that. Yeah, no, definitely be with your friends. Certainly, if they've just gotten out of labour, definitely be with them at the moment. But I will come back and acknowledge that after the next reading. So let's jump in to the next reading. Feel free to leave any comments, thoughts, or questions in the chat box. If you would like a reading, certainly feel free to request one. But at the moment, I've got quite a long list here, and I don't know how long this chat will be going for. So if I don't get to you tonight, don't fret. What that means is that whoever I can get to will be pushed up the list, and they'll be addressed on Wednesday. Now, Spiritual Moments has become a chat that you guys seem to be liking, so this is something that's going to be happening twice a week, every Sunday and every Wednesday. So as I say, if I don't get you tonight, then you'll be pushed up the list, and you'll certainly be one of the first few up on Wednesday. But let's keep going, shall we? The next person that we're reading for tonight is Skylar, and I think this is my very first reading for you, Skylar, so I'm quite excited about that. 14th of the 11th, she is a Scorpio, and Scorpios are a water symbol. So we have the goblet, the chalice, once again. And Skylar would like a past life reading as well. As I said, these past life readings have become very, very popular. So let's see what we can have coming forth for you this evening, Skylar. Wow. Oh, that was very interesting indeed, Skylar. Some very interesting news for you. So, so the first thing I was seeing was you bustling around. You were very very busy, and there were a lot of children around you. And I got confirmation really early on that these were your nieces and nephews. You kept referring to them as your nieces and nephews, which I found funny as well. But there were many of them, quite a few. Now, the interesting thing is what you were doing. You were at work, and your job was, I don't know if it was exactly a factory or if you were working the business from home, but you were working in chocolate. Um, you were helping to create chocolate, which I found very, very fascinating. So there was a massive, like, pot that there was melted chocolate in, and you were getting your one of your nephews, whose name was Byron. You kept saying, "Byron, Byron, help me," and you were getting Byron to help you put in the ingredients that were meant to go into this vat of chocolate. And what I was seeing was that you had a lot of chocolate mixtures happening all at once, but you had a lot of things, mix-ins that you were putting in. And in this particular one, you were putting in marshmallows. So Byron's helping you put in the marshmallows into the chocolate, and you all seem to be having a really good time. Everyone seems to be really happy. No one seems to be upset. Even you, like, despite the fact that you're busy, you seem to be very bubbly and enjoying yourself. I then saw your husband come in. Your husband was an Irishman. And what I found to be most interesting about him was that he came in telling me that he had discovered something, and that if you use this, you'll become a very big success in life. And what he actually found was white chocolate. Your husband actually made a discovery of white chocolate. Now, obviously, you didn't have white chocolate at the time, but my assumption is that you went on to use that. And look at where white chocolate is today. It may not be as popular as the standard chocolate, but it certainly does come out in many and varied forms. So your husband, he discovered this. I found that really, really fascinating. But you were definitely working in chocolate. Once again, I can't say if you're working in a chocolate factory or if this was a business you were running from your home, but it was definitely a business. You were not making this for fun, you were making it to sell. And that was made obvious by just by looking at how it was being done. It was certainly not like you were putting together a recipe for the kids. This was something that was being mass produced for people. But it was really, really interesting. I don't know if you were in Ireland or not, but certainly you had an Irish husband, and you had a nephew whose name was Byron. You seemed to be very, very, very happy with chocolate, 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 like chocolate crazy. Like, I don't know, maybe you were like the female Willy Wonka or something. But it was very, very interesting. Um, so there you go. That's what I was getting for you from your past life. Working in chocolate with lots of nieces and nephews, and your husband discovering white chocolate for you to give out to the world. So isn't that interesting? There you go. I hope that helps, Skylar. There is your past life. Wow. So say a lot of people were asking for past life readings this week. So that's very, very interesting as well. Okay, so I'm just going to read Deborah's, what Deborah was saying again. So Deborah says, "Hi guys, I'm with a friend who just got out of labour, so I'm a bit busy, but we'll come back. I've got a very important question to ask. I've sent someone a very important and confronting message that can change everything. Can you feel how he would react to it? I'm so scared for him. My name is Esther, 25 years of fire sign." Okay, so Esther, I can certainly write that down, but I don't know if we will be able to get to it this evening. If not, then we will definitely get to it on Wednesday. So I'm just going to write this down, guys, one moment. Okay. Jody says, how far am I down the list? Jody, quite a bit away, so I don't know if we're going to necessarily get to your reading this week. I will try, but we may not get to it this week. I do need to be honest, because you're quite a bit of the way down the list. But if I don't get to it, it will be pushed up for Wednesday. I can promise you that. Just going to take some deep breaths. I hope all of you are having a wonderful weekend. I don't know what part of the weekend it is for everyone. It's probably pretty early in America right now, and getting close to, or roughly about lunchtime, I would say, in the UK. But certainly for those of us on the Australian Eastern Standard Time border, we're getting closer and closer to the weekend. It's about 10:30, roughly about 10:30 in the evening now. So yeah, just taking a moment. Okay, thank you very much for staying with me. I just need a moment to just refresh. All right, let's move on to the next reading, shall we? Uh, so we'll probably go for about an hour with this, or maybe just over an hour in total, which means that we're probably going to be here for about, I would say, another 25-30 minutes, the absolute max. So we'll see what we can get through. Yeah, let's keep it going. Once again, if you are in the room and you want to say hi, feel free to do so. If there's anything you want to bring up for me, certainly feel free to say so, and I'll address that in between the readings. Okay, so the next person that we're reading for this evening is Amber. 22nd of the 2nd, she's a Pisces, and she would like a general reading. Now, Pisces is a water sign, very much like the Scorpio, so we've got the goblet and chalice back again. And Amber once again would like a general reading. So let's see what comes through for you today, Amber. Okay, alright. Okay, we've got a few things happening. I don't want to forget anything, so I may be talking quite quickly, but I just don't want to forget anything. But I'm very much being overwhelmed here, Emma. Okay, first thing that I'm getting that's coming through to me is that currently in your life you're feeling like very much like a deer in the headlights, um, and this is it's making you very uncomfortable. I'm also getting the feeling, whether it's connected to that or whether it's unrelated, I don't know. But I'm also being told that you are going out of your way to be there for someone. And I'm being given the advice that now is actually the time that you need to step aside from that. I know this may come across as being controversial or something that you don't necessarily want to hear, I should say, but I will say that if it's anything I've learned certainly in life, it is that we need to learn when to, um, when to listen, when to help, and when to get out of the way. And I'm certainly being advised very strongly that you are going out of your way for someone, and now is the time that you need to step away. Not completely step out of the person's life, but maybe not doing as much as you're doing. Taking some more time for yourself and just stepping aside from what it is that you are doing for this person at the moment. I'm definitely being told this is something you need to do as soon as possible, because the longer that you keep putting yourself aside for the needs and wants of this particular person, the worse it is going to get. So now is the time that you need to be stepping aside from all this. I'm also being told about a dam. Now, I'm being told to that you need to go to the dam. You'll find your strength in the dam. Something about the dam. So I don't know if there is a special dam that you know, or if a dam is symbolic to you for some reason. But I'm definitely being told that there is something about a dam that you need to be that's going to help you. It's going to give you strength. So if you know what I'm referring to when I'm talking about the dam, uh, that is going to give you the strength that you need. I'm also being told something quite confronting, so I want to warn you, but again, I'm rushing to say all this so I don't forget. So again, it is going to be quite confronting. I warn you once again, this is not going to be pleasant, but I am certainly being told that the darkness is coming. Now, what this means is that you're going to go through a rough patch. Um, I think the dam is connecting to this, not in the way that the dam is going to be the dark thing, but I think the dam is going to help you. So if you know what this dam is, then I certainly would advise you to connect with what this dam means for you, because the darkness is coming, and it's coming really, really quickly. I'm also being told that the darkness is coming regardless of whether you step to the side or not, because this darkness is not related to the person that you are going out of your way to help. It's something completely different altogether. I'm also I was being told by a spirit. I don't know. It wasn't given a name or anything, but she's a young girl, and she was telling me that you will be able to survive this. You will be able to find the strength within to deal with this. But just to be ready for it. There is a much stronger presence, however, that's coming through that keeps telling me the darkness is coming, the darkness is coming, the darkness is coming. I'm hearing a lot of what's the word? Thunder, and I'm seeing a lot of lightning. So this is like really something is going to come up for you that's going to be a big struggle to deal with. But you have the inner strength to deal with this. This is what I'm being told. So I'm definitely getting this feeling like I'm being told what the situation is, but at the same time I'm having your guardian angel tell me some things, and tell me that you are going to survive it, but that you need to be just be prepared that it is going to happen. Some people deal with, if I use the term disaster, some people deal with disasters that spring up out of nowhere really well, because they have a great presence of mind and they know how to cope with things, and some people don't. I'm not saying that you don't deal with disasters well, but I am being told that you need to be warned about this. This is not something that you can have sprung upon you. So just be prepared that it is going to happen. Now, from my own personal from my own human point of view, I am going to say this to you. Don't, lay awake at night wondering what it is, because it is going to just come out of the blue. It's just going to happen. So when it comes, it comes. And if you're finding it hard to not focus on it, then my advice to you would be this: enjoy the moments that you have prior to this happening. So try and focus on the present and remain in the present, but just be aware of the fact that the darkness is coming and you are going to need to deal with that. I want to go back and acknowledge what I was saying earlier to you, which was about the person that you are going out of your way to help, that you need to step aside from. Now, it's really tough to hear this kind of advice. It's also really tough to give this kind of advice. But as I say, there are times where we need to help, there are times we need to listen, and there are times where we need to be harmless and step out of the way. I get the sense that you feel that you are one of the only people that can help this person, and maybe that is from signs or impressions that this person is giving you. But sometimes when we help people, or when we think we're helping people, it's actually not helping them as much as we realize. Now, I'm sorry if this is a lot to take in, but I'm getting quite a lot happening here for you, Amber. So I'm going to try and limit it and stick to these few things. There is a lot more for you to hear, so if you'd like to request another reading, please do so for next week, because there's a lot more still to come out. But I'm going to focus on what I have in front of me at the moment. Yeah, so sometimes it is better to just take that step back and let them deal with the situation. There are ways to get out of these situations as well, and just, refocus. Now, again, I'm not saying completely get out of this person's life. If that's a decision that you'd like to make, that's totally up to you. But I'm not saying to you that you need to completely lose this person. What I'm saying to you is that you need to step aside from going out of your way to help this person. So there's a difference between always being there to help someone at the cost of yourself, and having someone that you converse with and share good memories with and stuff like that. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to say to you there. This is definitely something that you need to remove yourself from now. Jumping back over to what I was saying earlier about the darkness is coming, once again, this is a separate thing altogether. So this is not working in conjunction with this. In saying that, it's even more of a reason to step aside from the situation at the moment and from helping this person, because then you'll be hit with double the dose of darkness, and we definitely don't want that to happen. I don't know if you're already feeling it at the moment. You may very well be feeling that helping this person is not helping them, or you may be feeling that it is helping them, but it's coming at the cost of yourself. I don't know if you can feel this already, but it's definitely not helping you. I can tell you that, and so can spirits around you. They can definitely tell you that this is not working out for you, it's not a good idea, so please step aside from that. Now, this will also help you with, as far as feeling like you're a deer in the headlights. Maybe that's related to this, I don't know. As I say, it might be, it might not be, but certainly if it is, it may feel like you are under a lot of pressure to try and deal with this situation. Maybe this person doesn't have anyone else to lean on, and so therefore you're always expected to come up with all the answers. I don't know if this is the case or not, but certainly that would help with feeling like there's always a spotlight on you, and there's always all these expectations of everyone watching you and seeing what you're going to do. And also, it might be good for you to just take some time to be alone. I find that having time alone is good for the soul anyway. Even if it's just 5-10 minutes of your day, it might be a good idea. But certainly take that step back. Be warned that the darkness is coming. I'm being quite overwhelmed here, Amber. There's a lot that needs to come through for you. But what I am going to say is, Amber, I've already said my advice about all of this, so I'm not going to say anything more on that. But I am going to say there is a lot more to come through for you. So if you would like to request another reading, feel free to do so, whether it be on the page in Facebook or whether it be under this video when it is uploaded. We'll go into a lot more detail because, as I say, I'm being overwhelmed. There's quite a bit that needs to be coming out for you, but let's deal with this for the moment, and then move on to the next thing. Okay? Thank you, Amber, and thank you very much for your request this evening. I really do appreciate it. Also, yeah, I just wanted to say to you guys in general, if anyone wants to talk about their readings with me, they certainly can. I am available to talk to you guys on Facebook about it. If you'd like to acknowledge anything that I've said during the chat, you can do that as well, or even privately or whatever. Certainly under no obligation to do so, but if you would like to, some people find it easier to talk about it in a little more detail. Some people just want to acknowledge certain things and say, you know, oh, this makes sense or this doesn't or whatever, and that's totally fine. But you don't have to. It is completely up to you and what it is that you would like to do. All right, so let's go back into the room and see what's going on. Deborah says, okay, Francois, thank you very much. You're very welcome, Deborah. And Jodie Vickers said, it's okay, Francois. Hakuna Matata. Very good. It means no worries. Thank you, guys. I definitely appreciate that. Yeah, so we've had some intense readings, some good readings, and that's, you know, sometimes it's just the way it is. You never know what's going to come through. I certainly never know what's going to come through until it actually happens. But yeah, it's always very interesting. And so, yeah. All right, so I'm just going to take a breath. I don't know how long I'm going to take a breath for, but I certainly need to take one, you guys. So I'm going to take a moment, so stick with me. If there's anything you want to write up in the chat room, feel free to do so. Otherwise, I might be about 2 minutes, and then I will be right back. So we're not done. We do have some more readings coming through. I'm just going to take a quick moment to myself, and I will be right back. You might hear also some spiritual music in the background, but I'll be back very, very soon. Welcome back. Okay, thank you for that. Just need to take a quick moment to just... Okay, so let's move on to the next reading. I'm going to do about 3 more readings this evening. So I do want to apologise, Jodie, we're not going to be able to get to your reading tonight, but I will definitely be getting to your reading on Wednesday. I also want to make mention of the people that we cannot get to readings for tonight. So I'm just going to apologise to you now. I'm also not going to be able to get to Rosa's reading, so I'm so sorry, Rosa. I will get to your reading on Wednesday, so please come back on Wednesday. Alofa, I'm not going to be able to get to your reading. Please come back on Wednesday. I'm definitely doing it then. And Esther, I can do your reading on Wednesday. But Esther, if you need, with your particular reading, Esther, because you needed to know something, if you need to know this before Wednesday, please let me know once the video is published, and I will try and find a way to get the reading to you. I'll write out the reading to you if you absolutely need it as an emergency prior to Wednesday. So Rosa, Alofa, Jodie and Esther, you'll be at the top of my list on Wednesday. And I do apologise about not being able to get to you, but we've still got 3 more people to get through tonight. So if I haven't called out your name and you have requested a reading, well, that means that your reading will be happening this evening. So let's move on to the next reading. Actually, before we do, let's go over into the room and see if there's anything else that has been written. Jody says, this is unrelated, but will you ever have another PLL alternative endings chat, because I never made it to any of the previous ones? I don't think so, Jody. I don't think so at this stage, but yeah. So sorry about that, but certainly feel free to look at the ones that I have done already. Yeah, sorry, Jody. Done quite a few PLL things, and I don't believe I'm going to go there anymore. I'm not going to, never say never, but I just don't believe so at this stage. Alright, let's get to our next reading then, shall we? And our next reading is for Ellen. Hello, Ellen, good evening. 9th of the 10th, Libra, and Libra is an air sign. Wow. We're doing well. We're sticking with water and air all evening tonight. No earth, no fire. So very interesting. And Ellen would like a general or a past life reading. All right, Ellen. So in that case, I'm going to see what comes through, and go with that. Okay. All right. Let's see what comes through for you, Ellen, this evening. Okay. I'm seeing some interesting things there, Ellen. And what I am seeing come through for me is past life and not general reading. So what that probably means is that there isn't anything to say in a general reading this week for you. There might be next week. So certainly feel free to request another reading then. But I am getting a very strong sense of your past life. And it is very, very intriguing. I'm certainly getting visions of you being a protector, and quite a valiant one at that. Now, when I say protector, I mean a protector of your. I don't know how far it goes, whether it's community or state or country or whatever, but certainly this is sort of like around the medieval era. very, very much the protector. Anytime anything bad came to harm the area, you were the one they called upon. You were the very strong woman that dealt with everything. Um, you're very, very much respected. I'm seeing at the same time as I'm seeing like all of the fights that you were in and that you successfully won to defend the area. I'm also seeing the amount of respect that people have for you. Then the gratitude that's being shown towards you. I do feel like, as much as it may or may not seem weird to you for me to say this, I feel like these people feel that without you, they wouldn't be there anymore. Because obviously anyone who came to fight would have won. So you are definitely what kept everyone going. And there's a lot of appreciation there. I'm seeing people like handing you all different types of food, whether it be like loaves of bread or fruit or whatever. You're being showered with gifts of gratitude because people are just so, so, so thankful. Um, And this is something that comes very naturally to you as well. I don't mean the gratitude. I mean the side of being the protector. You were a natural bomb fighter. So, excuse me, losing my voice over here. So it's not something that you have to really work out too much. It came quite naturally to you. You're very gifted with your sword. I keep seeing your sword. Like I keep seeing flashes of your sword all the time. Very, very gifted at what you did, and really very natural for you to be able to do this. But at the same time, um, you know, being good at this turned out to be a really good thing for the community at large and in general. I'm also seeing that you were an inspiration to people. So you inspire people to actually try and do the same thing. And I'm actually seeing a passing, like a literal passing down of the sword. You're handing it to a younger girl. Um, so I don't know if that means you're retiring or you're like bringing her into the fold, but you're literally passing the sword over to her. So you're an inspiration to her and to others as well. And you were living in Croatia. How interesting. Uh, wow, I'm just starting this out now. You're in Croatia at the time. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of respect, a lot of praise. Like the women wanted to be to be you, um, and the men wanted to be with you. Um, just a lot of love and respect for you because, as I say, without you, the community would not be able to survive. It's pretty good what I'm seeing now, and I'm sorry that I'm not talking so much. I'm just really enjoying this. Um, I started off seeing like you in action and defending the community and all the fights you were doing, but the more I'm looking into it, the more I'm actually seeing the aftermath and the love and the appreciation for everyone else. And I can go forth and describe every little detail, but I don't think that it matters too much to the effect of what it is that we're trying to get from this. But yeah, just lots of love. Um, like specifically right now, I'm seeing a little girl with pigtails, and she's passing up a loaf of bread to you, like but giddily happy. She's like, "Take this from me, please take this." Um, she's really, really happy. It's amazing. I do feel like that we take things from our past lives, um, whether it is something that we have inside of us, whether it is something similar to what we do now. I feel like the gifts we take on. So I wouldn't be surprised at all to hear you say to me, Ellen, that you are a protector nowadays in life. Maybe not to that extreme, but that you feel like a fierce protector and that you look after people and look out for people. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Just because we're seeing it in the extreme in your past life doesn't necessarily mean it has to be to that extreme in this life. But I'm sure that some of it would come naturally to you now because of what has happened in your past life. I'd love to know your thoughts on this, and if it does relate or equate to anything that you may be going through at the moment, or anything that you see happening in your life. If it is natural for you to be a protector, to stand up for people, if there is that praise and that respect for what you do for others. But that's definitely what I'm seeing. I'm getting a very clear vision of that, Ellen. So there you go. All right. As I say, no general reading, unfortunately, for this week. Nothing was coming through, but doesn't necessarily mean there won't be something next week. Certainly come along on Wednesday. If you request a reading on Wednesday, we might have something general come through there. Okay, 2 more readings, everyone. So, our next reading is for Sarah. 3rd of the 10th. Sarah is a Libra, and she would like a relationship reading. No problems at all, Sarah. And as we know, Libra is also an air sign. Wow, golly, guys. We're doing a lot of air readings this evening. I would say actually the majority is air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 air readings and 2 water readings. So, very, very popular element of air this evening. A relationship reading with Sarah. Okay, let's see what we have going on this evening, Sarah, if anything is coming through to do with relationships. Okay. Alright, Sarah, so I'm getting a few things coming through, and I want to let you know first off that what I'm seeing is positive things coming through for you. So the first thing that I get that's coming through to me is a light that's flashing, and I'm also being pointed by a spirit. I'm having a spirit point out to me. Sorry, my words are getting a bit mumbled here. To an obvious extent as to what this means, and I know what it means, and so it's really funny how the spirit is trying to convince me of what it is, and I already know what it is. It's just really, really funny. Anyway, so I'm getting a light that's flashing 3 times. So I go 3 times, 1, 2, 3, stop. 1, 2, 3, stop. And say, I know what it is, but then I've got a spirit coming forward and like literally mouthing the words of what this means. And what this means is literally, and I know you'll know what this means, it is meaning shine, shine, shine. This light is falling onto a floor that looks like a gymnasium. However, it looks like it's a gymnasium that's been turned into, maybe it's a rec room or something, I don't know, but it's certainly not being used as a gym at the time. It's being used to host a dance. I don't know like what the dance is, but it's certainly being used to host a dance. And what I'm seeing is I'm seeing something coming out of this particular event. Now, I don't know if you've been invited to an event or not, but I feel like at this event, this is where you're actually going to find a romantic partner at this event. Now, I'm certainly being told this is not a platonic thing. This is definitely about romance. You're going to find a romantic partner at this dance. I'm also being told in no uncertain terms, like I have this spirit coming through, and the spirit is being very frank. So sometimes I'll get people that blast at me, or spirits that blast at me. Sometimes I'll get spirits that are very calm. Sometimes they'll whisper, but this one's just being very frank in the way that they're talking. And the person is saying, look, this is how it's going to happen. You have to go to this dance because if you don't go to the dance, it's not going to happen. You also need to be open to these opportunities, because if you're not open to these opportunities, it's just not going to happen for you. So you have to be open to this and open to anything that's going to come your way. That's a possibility for you to go out and commingle with people. So whether it be a dance, a party, a function, anything that involves people, you have to be open to it, because if you close yourself off from it, this is just definitely not going to happen. And there's no what do you call it? Like, there's no uncertainty coming from the spirit at all. Like, I am being told you must be open to this. If you're not open to this, it will just certainly not happen. So I just need to pass that assurity on to you. But yes, it is going to be dance. It's going to take place in a gym, and that is where you're actually going to find, I want to say the love of your life. Yeah. The spirit is very frank, very defiant, but they've got their hands on their hips and it's sort of going, So, yeah, you're definitely going to find the love of your life at this dance. So you have to go to this dance, Sarah, no matter what. Go to the dance. All right. Now, I'm going to see what else I can find out. I'm just going to go back in. Interesting. Sorry about that reaction. The spirit's sort of like pointing to the person. I'm getting quite a vivid image of the person, which is really interesting. But the spirit's pointing things out to me, and sort of saying, "Okay, very beautiful man." And it's funny, like the spirit is a female, and she's walking around and showing things off. And the person themselves is frozen. So if you imagine, for the sake of whatever, this person's a mannequin. It's not, but imagine if it is. And the spirit's walking around. They go, "Beautiful man, can you see? Very beautiful, nice hair," and all this. But the funny thing, the thing that made me sort of stop there was that the spirit saying, "And he's a butcher." So that was very random. He's going to be a butcher, and that very much surprises me. I've never done a reading where I've heard that someone's going to be a butcher, but he's going to be a butcher. But he's a very nice man. I'm also being told he has a very big heart. She's pointing to the heart and saying, "Very big, very, very big heart." So very big heart, very nice man, very decent looking. I mean, if this is a model of what the person actually looks like, whoa. But yeah, beautiful man, very, very big heart as big as the ocean, and he's a butcher. There you go. I don't know how much further I actually want to delve into this. I don't know how specific I really want to be in this particular reading. I think this is more than enough information for you to know, and then use your own free will as to where you go to from here. But definitely be open to all the invitations that you're being given. I also want to go back in and just see if there's anything coming through for me with anything else that comes to relationships, so like platonic relationships and stuff like that. So I'm just going to go back in and see if there's anything else. Just a moment. Okay. So next thing I'm being shown, Sarah, I need to tell you this right now. Your spirit is very dominant. So I had a reading earlier on this evening where there was a particular spirit that wouldn't leave but didn't have much to say. Your spirit has a lot to say and is like dominating the conversation and dominating everything that's going on right now. And she's telling me something that I've already told you. I told you this last week, and she's saying, I'm sort of communicating with the spirit, saying, I've already told you. She's like, yeah, well, you're going to do it again. So, okay. So we're getting she's referring to the old lady that I referred to in your last reading, and how she was saying that it's not your fault, and to know that it's not your fault. And as I said to the spirit, I've told you this. I said that to her last week. Like, well, you're going to tell her again. So, Sarah, it's not your fault. It's definitely not your fault. And this person wants you to know that. You take a lot of things on board as being your fault, and they're not. They're absolutely not your fault. And if you want to talk to me about that, we can certainly talk about that at another time. But I just wanted to put that through to you and let you know that you take on so much as being your fault, and it's not your fault at all. I'm loving your spirit so much right now. Like she keeps she's showing me pictures of them pushing away. So we had your life partner, and she's like, okay, next, and then I'm going back and she's like, okay, next. So apparently there's a lot that's coming through. I can't stick around for too much longer, but I'll see what I'll go back in one more time and see what I can see. Just being very fussy again. Okay, so she's referring to a heavy-set man, and I'm so sorry to say that. That's the way that the spirit is referring to it. She's saying heavy-set man. There's a heavy-set man that's passed away that you knew, and this man is telling the spirit, who's telling me, which is not normally how this works, but that's how it's going for you. This heavyset man is telling the spirit, who's telling me to tell you that you need to seek out Toby or Tobias, something with like a T-O-B, Toby, Tobias, Tob, something like that, T-O-B. I'm getting a T-O-B. You need to seek out this person because, and it was very specific as well, you need to seek out this Toby or this Tobias because this, and that's why I was saying why from, like, why you should seek this person out, because this Toby or this Tobias is going to tell you something about this person, the heavyset person who's passed away, that's going to be invaluable to you. It's actually going to be really helpful to you. So if you know of a Toby or a Tobias or something along those lines, you need to talk to that person about someone that you know or he knows, because he's going to tell you about this person. So it may be that he knows the person, but he's going to tell you something about this person that's going to become invaluable to you. So seek out Toby, seek out Tobias, ask about the heavyset man who passed away. he's got quite a bit to tell you, and it's definitely going to help you. And I'm like, your spirit is very bossy, very bossy. Like, tell her, tell her, tell her. So there you go. So I'm passing her. She's very confident as well. Like she's recognizing that I can't keep doing this reading, but she wanted to pass in me to pass on to you. She's saying like bye bye. She's blowing kisses. She's like bye kisses, see you soon, sort of thing. So she recognizes that I've come to the end of the reading, that I can't do any more tonight. But I have the feeling that she'll be back. She's very very strong. So I don't know if you know this person, but yeah, very, very strong influence. So hopefully all of that helps. It's way too much for me to remember everything. But yeah, from the last thing that I said, obviously, Tobias, ask him about the heavyset man that passed away. And like that's literally how it was explained to me. Otherwise, I never would have used those words. I would have said, "There's fine. He looks like this." You know, black hair, brown eyes, or whatever. But I'm being told, no, heavyset man. Ask Toby about the heavyset man. So ask Tobias about the heavyset man. Okay, so I hope that helps you. So we've got relationships as far as romantic, and we've got relationships as far as platonic. So hopefully that's helping you out there. I'd be very intrigued to find out who Toby or Tobias is, and also what you find out from Toby or Tobias. But so certainly feel free to let me know. And if you want to talk about the not your fault thing, feel free to talk to me about that. I'm happy to do that for you. Alright, guys, let's quickly jump over to the room. Then I'll do the last reading, and I certainly have to leave. So let's just quickly jump over. Okay. Ellen says, that is really awesome. Could I go back? Past life Ellen seems amazing. Yeah, she was. Definitely, Ellen. Yeah, how good would that be to be able to go back to past life? Definitely. Yeah, it was really, really awesome. Such a great valiant defender you were. MC says, hi everyone. Hi MC. Thank you for being here. She says, just popped in quickly to say hi. I hope everyone has a lovely rest of the day / night. And to tell Francois to hydrate. I hope to see you all at a live chat soon. Oh, thank you. Just for you, MC, I will hydrate before I do my last reading of the day. Okay. And MC says, wish she could say, but she'll have to catch us all next time. She's determined to make it to one of the live chats soon. Wonderful, MC. It was an early chat this evening, so I completely understand where it is that you are coming from. And for all of you on the Australian Eastern Standard Time Zone, or even the Australian time zone, you guys are probably appreciating how early the chat is. So it's like, yay, more comfortable for you guys. So yeah, I will get into the Spiritual Moments chats whenever I can do them. So yeah, for tonight it needs to be earlier. It might be the same on Wednesday. It might be earlier. It might be later. I don't know. But that's why I'm definitely recommending and continue to say so that if you would like to have a reading done, because of the fact that we don't know like necessarily when the time will be for the reading. First things first, hit the notification bell so that the notification will come up for you. But secondly, leave the request either in the Facebook group or leave a request once this video has been uploaded, and then I can just write down all the requests and get to them once we do the chats. As I say, if I didn't get to your reading this time, I'm sorry. I will get to it next week. I do have one more reading still to do though. But yeah, for the others, Rosa, Alofa, Jodie, Esther, I will definitely get to you next week. I promise you that. Or this week, I should say, considering today's Sunday. So Wednesday, I'll get to you guys on Wednesday. All right, final reading of the evening, everyone. And this lucky last reading is for Annabelle. So Annabelle, we're about to get underway with your reading. The last one for tonight. Okay, Annabelle, 6th and 7th, Cancer. And Cancer is another water sign. So we had no Earth, and we had what? What might be fun? Ah, fire. Ah, it's very hot. Um, and that's probably why we didn't have any fire, because it was very hot on Earth, and no fire tonight. A lot of air and water. Okay, Annabelle, 6th, 7th Cancer, what a general reading. Okay, Annabelle, let's see what the spirits have in store for you this evening. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Annabelle, first of all, I need to refer to last week. Now, I was giving a reading to someone, and I'm pretty sure this reading was for you, but feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I think I was giving you a reading last week and telling you that you need to take time for yourself, shut yourself off from everything, technology, electricity, all that sort of stuff. I'm being reminded heavily of that in this reading again now. Now, if I'm getting this mixed up and that reading was not about you, then I'm telling you to do that. But I'm pretty sure that that reading was for you, and so therefore, what I'm being told is the same thing. It's being emphasized that it needs to happen. I'm also being told that you've tried to do this, and whenever you've tried to do this, it's actually worked wonders for you. Um, I'm like, anytime I try to go further than say the four walls of a house, I'm getting a block, and what the block is telling me. I also did a reading last week about being trapped. I'm not getting a reading about you being trapped, but I'm getting a reading saying, like, don't go beyond the door. Now, this doesn't mean don't leave your house at all. It's metaphoric. So it's basically saying whenever you don't absolutely have to stop with this path of taking time for yourself and getting away from electricity, don't stay in it as long as you absolutely can, because it is going to be even more beneficial for you. That is what I'm being told. I'm also seeing and hearing laughter of children. Now, this could mean a couple of different things. So I'm trying to get a better idea as to where this is going, but it could mean a couple of different things. The first thing that I felt that I was connecting to with it was was that you're being taken back to the innocence that you had as a child. So I think that's what's being conveyed. It's quite confusing. To give you an idea of literally of what I'm seeing a playground. And you know those spiral slides? I'm seeing like child after child going down the slide and just very giddily laughing, very joyously giddy laughing going down the slide. And I'm hearing like lots of giddy laughter of all different children. So this is a happy place. I think that I'm trying to work out. I'm not getting a firm reading of what it is, but I feel like it's relating to the innocence that you may have lost as a child that you're starting to regain. So this is a very good thing. I'm also seeing rainbows, which is very interesting as well. To me, what I'm seeing when it comes to now, different people say different things when it comes to rainbows. You see the flag in the background. I'm not referring to the LGBTIQ community here. The rainbow that I'm seeing is metaphorical to a colorful journey. It's talking about what the life you've had so far. So that, you know, you've experienced all the spectrums, all like the entire spectrum, all the different colors of the rainbow. And also I'm seeing it as a slide, but it's a very like wide and very long slide that just keeps going and going and going and going and going. And so that's representing to me is not only have you experienced all the colors of the rainbow, but you've gone through ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs. Connecting that to what I'm seeing in the park, and I'm actually starting to get a much more firm idea of what's going on. I feel like at the moment it's either a very happy moment for you, or you're experiencing some very happy moments, or have been experiencing some happy moments specifically between our last reading and now. They may have been few and far between, but the fact of the matter is that they have existed. And the time that you have taken for yourself has certainly made a massive difference. Now, I'm not saying you've taken a lot of time for yourself, and quite frankly, I am going to say that you haven't taken enough time for yourself. But the fact that you've made an attempt to take time for yourself has made a difference, and I'm sure that you have felt that as well yourself. I'm being given more, so Annabelle, stay with me. Oh, that's good. Alright, so the last thing that I'm being told is very clearly, I'm being told for you to tell you to walk through the storm. So what I mean by storm is there are going to be some bad times that are coming up again. But, you know, as I say, we're referring to the rainbow slide before. You've experienced all the different colors of the rainbow. You've gone up, down, up, down, up, and down. And so, yeah, there are going to be some down moments that are coming up. And so with these down moments that we're referring to as the storm, I'm being advised for you to walk through the storm. And, like, I'm sort of like being told like this. So I'm being strongly advised for you to walk through the storm with your head held high, because you're bigger than all of this. So I'm being told that it's all downhill. Like when I say downhill from here, in the sense that I'm saying now, it's all downhill from here, and that's going to be much easier for you. Not in that it's going to get bad for you, in that it's going to get easier for you. So there are going to be bad things that are going to come your way. Don't stoop to the level of the bad things. Rise above it. You know, just keep on walking. You know, people are going to throw metaphorical stones your way, no matter what they are. Just keep walking with your head held high. It's all beneath you. It doesn't matter. It's just silly stuff that's going to try and get to you. And that happens in life. Unfortunately, there are things that happen whether it be humans or the spirit world or whatever, malevolent spirits, malevolent people, whatever, that try to get to you just for the sake of trying to get to you, and it's not worth your time. Walk through the storm with your head held high. You don't need to deal with it anymore. Keep spending time focusing on yourself. Don't sweat small stuff. It really doesn't matter. And it's going to be getting easier from here on out. It's all going to be downhill as far as easy from here on out for you, Annabelle. So that's really good to hear. I'd love to certainly get some feedback from you, Annabelle, especially with the fact that I'm getting told the same thing that I was being told last week. So definitely, you've attempted to take some time out for yourself, and that's appreciated, but you need to be taking more time out for yourself. Now, I understand we have a very busy life, and you can't always fit time in for yourself, but unlike what I'm being told for others, what I am being told for you is to take more if you can. So even if it's like 5 minutes more, 10 minutes more, let's say on day one you managed to get 3 minutes for yourself. That's great. Without electricity, on your own, without technology, and then the following day you are able to add another 5 minutes onto that time. And the following day you're able to add another 5 minutes onto that time. As far as I see it, try to whatever amount of time that you're able to spend the day before, if you can, try to beat that the following day. So if you had 5 minutes on Monday, try and see if you can make it 6 on Tuesday, and make it more and more, because it's definitely going to work out for you and work in your favor there, Annabelle. So I hope you enjoyed that reading, and I'm this is one of the great things that I love about readings like this, is to be able to warn of bad things that are going to happen in a context of don't let it get to you, because these are things that you may see as, oh my gosh, this is so stressful, and I don't want to deal with this right now. Your very next thought needs to be, so I'm not going to. You just need to snap to that very next thought. I don't want to deal with this, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to walk by this. I'm going to ignore this. I don't need to deal with this. Let's just move on to the next thing. And if you're able to do that and just keep walking, just walk straight through the storm, then everything's going to be totally fine. And that's what I'm saying to the end of the year. So you're going to have a great end of the year if you just let go of all the small stuff. Just keep walking, walk through that storm, Annabelle, and everything's going to be okay for you. So thank you very much for your reading request this week. I'm glad that I was able to get to that for you. Speaking of which, you guys, if I didn't get to you again, Rosa, Alofa, Jody, Esther, I will certainly be getting to you on Wednesday, so come along. You are in the top 4 positions, so you will be read in that order: Rosa, Alofa, Jody, Esther. So come along on Wednesday and I will read those out for you. If you would like to request a reading for Wednesday's Spiritual Moments reading, there are 2 options that you have. The first is to go onto the Facebook group, www.facebook.com/groups/CBALMK. Now, if you go over to this group and you want to join, all that we ask of you is to please answer the question. The question is, what is your YouTube name? Please tell us what your YouTube name is. There is a reason for this. In the past, I have let people in, and it turns out it was spam. So we need to protect. That's one way to do it. If you don't want to join the group, no judgment, that's totally fine. You don't have to. And you want to request a reading because you don't know if you're going to be able to make it or not, certainly leave it in the comments below once this is published. And if it is already up there and you guys are watching this right now in delayed time, leave a comment if you'd like a reading, and I will make sure that I get to it next week if I have time. And if I don't, then I will just keep going on and on and on. But Rosa, Alofa, Jody, and Esther, I'll be getting to yours definitely on Wednesday, and you'll be the first 4 up. I can promise you that. All right, guys, let's quickly jump over to the room and see if anyone's still around, and then I'll say my goodbyes, and we'll finish up the night. All right. Samantha's here. She says, hey Francois, I would love another reading. No problems at all, Samantha. If you would care to leave me your name, date of birth, star sign, and request in the next couple of minutes, I will jot it down and put you in the 5th place for next week. Sarah says, thanks for the reading, Francois. Don't know about the Mr. Butcher love of my life. Well, that's what came through, Sarah. But more than happy to discuss any of it with you, and you are most welcome. Honey Hepburn's here. She says, I'm late, but I'm here. Thank you very much, Honey Hepburn, for being here. I'm so sorry. We are out of time. I'm just about to wrap this up, but you can certainly go back and rewatch all of this. It should be published to my channel within, I would say, about 5 minutes after we finish this video. I'll just put it out there again. Samantha, if you want to request a reading, feel free to do so in the chat box, and I'll check that out after I've finished off this video. Otherwise, feel free to put it in the comments once the video is uploaded, and I will check it then. Otherwise, a big love and hugs and blessings to all of you. The reading requests keep coming in, and it's just, like, I feel truly touched and humbled by the fact that so many of you guys want readings, and I love it, and yeah, just so honored to be a part of Spiritual Moments. When I first started discussing this idea, I did not know how it was going to go. I thought maybe it will be a one-off thing, maybe it won't, get up off the ground, but you guys have absolutely loved Spiritual Moments, and I really appreciate that. And that is why, for the first time in comment below and let me know history, PLL final week aside, we are going to have a chat that is going to be assured to be on twice a week. Every Sunday, provided I can make it, we will have a Spiritual Moments chat. So thank you very, very much to you guys, because without you guys, these chats would not be happening. And until next Wednesday, or this Wednesday, I should say, until Wednesday, Australian Eastern Standard Time, I am Francois T. Make love and not war. Blessings, light and love to all of you. Blessed be. Bye, guys.